welcome back to my channel. My name is Cheryl, and today I'm here to bring you the top 5-ish books, I think, that have been on my shelves for the longest time. So basically, before this video, what I went and did was I got on Goodreads, I went to my to-read or to-be-read shelf, I went over to the date added and made it the oldest to the newest. All of these books were added at some point in 2014. Now, I could have had them on my shelves longer than that, and I think for some of these I definitely have. 2014 is just the year that I really started using Goodreads. So like I said, some of these books might have been on my shelf longer than that, but these have been on my shelf since at least 2014 and I still haven't picked them up, and that really needs to change. So hopefully by the end of this year I've either read these or I've gotten rid of them, because honestly, if it's been this long and I still haven't picked them up, there's a good chance that I'm not going to. But we'll see. So without further ado, let's get into the books. I'm not really going to give much of a synopsis about all of these books just because I really don't know much about some of them. But yes, without further ado, let's get into the books. So book number 1 is Micro by Michael Crichton. I have a love-hate relationship with Michael Crichton's books. Jurassic Park is one of my absolute favorite books of all time. Ever. And The Lost World is okay. But I have yet to find another Michael Crichton book that has really gripped me in the same way. I've tried a few of his other books, including The Andromeda Strain, which I put down halfway through because I was so bored, and a lot of his other books, which are just, they're very science heavy, and don't get me wrong, I love science, I'm a science major, but I think he got a little more wrapped up in the science aspect of it as opposed to the storytelling aspect. And so they just weren't that entertaining to me in comparison to Jurassic Park, where I feel like he integrated the two very well. So I'm not quite sure how much I'll like this book. Basically, I think this follows a disease outbreak or something along those lines. But yeah. Oh, it's by two people. Michael Crichton and Richard Preston. We shall see if I pick this one up this year, and if I do, how I feel about it. So the next book I'm going to talk about is one that I used to hear a lot of people talk about, and then like no one talks about it now, and that is Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen. I have not read this book. I'm kind of ashamed to admit that because, like I said, everyone seemed to have read this book a few years ago, and everyone seemed to have loved it, and now no one talks about it. And so I just still haven't picked it up, and I don't even really know what it's about. So if you've read this book before and you've liked it, let me know, kind of spoiler-free, your thoughts about it down below, because I don't know. Every time I go to pick up a book, I'm just like, I could pick up Water for Elephants, or I could pick up something else, and it's usually something else. So the next book I'm going to talk about is one that I've had on my shelf for a while, like the whole theme of this video is, but I've been very hesitant to pick up, and that is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. I know this was made into a movie in, I think, Sweden or something like that, and then remade into an American film. I've heard very good things about this book and about the films, and I know it is a series of books. However, I've also heard how graphic and violent and intense these books are. For the most part, I don't mind that kind of stuff, but that has kept me from picking up this book. I only got it for 50 cents at half price, so it's not like I'm really losing out on money if I end up not picking this book up. But yes, I'm just hesitant to pick this up. I don't know if it's worth the hype. I don't know if I'll enjoy it, because it's also a genre I don't typically read, which is thriller, I think. Yeah, I do believe it's a thriller. I don't really pick up thrillers that often. It's not really my genre. So we'll see if I pick this up, and if I do, how I enjoy it, because I'm a little nervous. So the next book I want to talk about is Gelco Road by Melina Marchetta. I don't know anything about this book, to be honest. I've read the synopsis a while ago. I've forgotten everything. I do not feel like rereading the synopsis for purposes of this video. And if that makes me a bad booktuber, oh well. I did hear a lot of people talk about this book a while ago, and then I haven't heard anything since. The other thing I don't like is, like, I have this really weird short hardback edition. I got it from half price, and I don't even know they made these like awkwardly short hardbacks. Like, here's a comparison to like a regular paperback. Like, look how like short and awkward it is. It always looks super weird on my shelf. But anyway, I digress. This book has just been on my shelf forever. I really need to pick it up, but I just haven't yet. And I don't know if I'm going to or not. And I know that's really bad to say, because why would you hold on to books that you don't know if you're even going to read? But that is me. I do that. And this last book I'm going to talk about is one that I do know I'm going to get into at some point, even if it's not this year, and that is Cthulhu 2000 by a variety of authors, I believe. Basically, this is just a collection of stories that are inspired by H.P. Lovecraft's original mythos. H.P. Lovecraft is one of my favorite authors ever. He is basically the father of modern horror, in my opinion. And his horror is so different than a lot of authors like Stephen King because his horror is not based in gore. His horror is not based in you are being chased by a monster. His horror is instead based in the psyche. So for a lot of his monsters and stuff, basically knowing they exist or seeing them drives the main character insane. I just like psychological horror more than I like slasher fics and monsters coming to get you, that kind of thing. But I've read quite a few stories inspired by him before. Like all story collections, there will be some I like in this, and there will be some I don't like in this. Like I said, this won't be the first Lovecraft-inspired collection that I've read, but this one has been on my shelf for quite a while, and I'm excited to pick it up because, like I said, I absolutely love Lovecraft, and I think a lot of people really can embody his sort of horror and his writing style, but leave out a lot of the issues that I have with Lovecraft because, like I said, he is one of my favorite authors, but don't get me wrong, there are so many things I don't like about his books and writing. For example, his prose is really flowery, it's really unnecessarily descriptive and long for the sake of being that way. It also is very pretentious at times. Lovecraft was also very much a sexist/racist man. He basically, there are like no women in his stories, and he treated people of color terribly, and I don't support that aspect at all. So that's one of the things I like about reading stories written in his universe without reading the stories that he wrote himself, is because these stories will often include females, they'll often include people of color, they'll often include all of these things that Lovecraft himself refused to acknowledge and refused to put in his own stories. So I know that was super long and rambly, especially compared to how much time I gave some of these other books, but yes, I do hope to one day pick up Cthulhu 2000. I do know that if I don't read this by the end of this year, this is one that I still will keep on my shelf because, like I said, I love Lovecraft. So anyway, guys, those are the 5 books that have been on my shelf the longest. I was a little embarrassed to do this video because, I mean, my god, if I haven't picked up these books in over 2 years, then when am I ever going to pick them up? Is there a point to hold on to them? Or is that just hoarding by this point? Who knows? As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!